Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Daily Perspective Podcast. My name is Benjamin Holley. I am your host for the evening. So, with that being said, I really just wanted to get on here and talk about 2020. Where we're at, where we're going, and what should we expect for the rest of the year. But thanks for joining me on this little adventure. And let's just take a drive. This will be about 30-45 minutes. And we'll just drive and we'll just talk. So, what is 2020 as a whole? Oh yeah, for you all that have never joined one of my podcasts, this is pretty much freestyle. And you kind of just, there's no editing, there's no nothing. It's just me talking about life and where I see it going. Where I see it, yeah. But we are in September of 2020. It is past the midpoint, and we are probably in the roughest shape I've ever seen America post 9/11 or pre 9/11. So let's just take 2001 out. So the last 19 years, 18 years, we have never been more fucked up that I remember. So let's just talk about, let's go back to the 1990s and let's talk about the Ronald Reagan era, Bush era, Vietnam, all that jazz. So here we are, 2020. We have two main parties. We have a Democratic Party, we have a Republican Party. Why? What makes, every year every 4 years we have an election. And it's usually Democrats and Republicans. Democrats win, Republicans win, Libertarians don't ever win. All this shit is going on. What makes this different? So back in the 90s, we had Ronald Reagan. We had first Bush. We had all these guys, these conservative guys. But guess what? Even the Democrats had a conservative, idealistic Democrat side. So really, you were just getting a conservative both ways. So what's the point in all of this? So what has happened is let's just talk about George Floyd. Horrific thing happened. Guy shouldn't have died the way he did. That is horrible. I didn't know the guy personally. Do I pray for his family? I pray for everybody. I honestly think that I pray for everybody. I don't pray for a specific person. I don't pray for a specific race. So all of you who think this is a race thing, you are completely in left field. It is a hate thing. the two worked at a nightclub together, and they had some bad beef. And everybody wants to blame it on race. No, not everybody wants to blame it on race. What has happened is one major person in the Black Lives Matter, all that jazz has came out, and they're like, this is a race day, this is all this is that. I understand I'm white. I've never really had race, but I've had fat jokes. I've been called small fingers, sausage fingers. I've been called all these things in my life, and it's a hate thing. Okay? Those are names. Those are hurtful names. Just like the N-word is a hurtful name to a black person of color. Just like other names to Mexicans and Hispanics and Puerto Ricans and all these different people. They have names. Everybody, and then they go back to the slaves. And they talk about oh my goodness. They talk about slaves and how they've been treated bad. I'm like, man, if you're 25, 40 years old, the worst thing that's ever happened to you is you were called the N-word or something along those lines. That's just words, people. That's all that is. The N-word is just a word. I understand it's a bad word. You've been called it your whole life, but I've been called fat my whole life. Been called, short boy, chubby boy, fucked up feet boy, sausage fingers boy, fat ass, short ass, can't run worth a shit. All these things, I've been called these words. They're just words. This shit starts bothering me when the lynching and stuff like that happens, burning down their houses. When Black Lives Matter start burning down my churches, that's when shit starts hitting the fucking fan. People blame churches and they blame everything. Catholicism is the reason for churches being blamed for everything. Catholicism is not a good. They just don't understand Christian people. And then when Catholics start talking about how they're Christian, no, you're not Christian. You don't speak on my behalf. I love God. I love everybody. I love black people. I love white people. I love Hispanics. But let's not let a word and one person dictate, one normal person dictate how we treat people. I love every single one of you that's listening. I love every single one of you that's not listening. The same. Y'all need to understand, life isn't fair. If you walked into life thinking, if you got past the age of 7 and your mama said, baby, life is fair. It ain't, when you're playing a game of basketball, someone says that ain't fair. Well, no, motherfucker, it's not fair. You know? If life was fair, we'd all be going to heaven. It's the way it is. Life is beyond tic-tac-toes and Oreos and, you know, and life is a divine idea. God just woke up one morning and said, I'm going to create an earth, a planet, and it's going to be beautiful. And then when he was building,